Hello, welcome back. My name is Sandsandal, and this is Let's Play the Guild 3. Now, in this episode, we will be getting the Baron title, hopefully. So, let's start the game up. While that happens, I'll be turning off all these useless notifications. Hip hip hooray. When will they make it so it saves? I have no freaking clue. I wish I did, though. That would save me a lot of pain. So, let's check out my different workers, I guess, family members. Let's see that everybody's working. Where is Olaf? Where is he? He's inside this building and he doesn't have a job for some reason. I assume no speaker's dish. Okay, good. Now he has a job. Everybody's working here. Everybody's doing that. Now in this episode, I also wanted to get something working other than the herbalism and, you know, the super OP buildings, basically. Not this one. I wanted to actually go down the line and get metalworking because I think it's, or the handicraft buildings. The reason for that, it's the handicrafts are actually surprisingly the most malleable towards automation. Which means basically you can easier set them up for automation than any of the other buildings really. And the reason for that, they don't really have any raw resources, which makes it so it doesn't have like two stages. What happens then is like the transporter gets from point A, he looks at what the workers have to do, which you also have automated, and try to brings it from the market to them, and then from there they make it, and then he brings them back to the market, and he just repeats this process. Now it's way easier than having to deal with these buildings, which actually requires getting more resources, and I have to like set up a route. But I mean, it's less profit. Not enough money. But with these buildings, we are basically guaranteed to be set up for the rest of our lives. As long as we don't really use too much money on something. And they are in feud again. Now while that happens, wait a second. So I know, what about this? Okay, so I can move Sanders up here. And Agnes is reapplying here. She wants to apply there, so what I'll... Oh, shit, I can't apply there. Can I deny her? That'd be so nice. I'm fairly sure I can't, but, you know. I can't deny her. So, yeah. Now the thing is, we have a lot of stuff invested in politics, which is pretty cool. We actually want to check. Liena doesn't have a title already, so let's see if we can get her one. Lena, where is she? She should be all the way in the bottom. There you go. Now she has a title. Now I'm thinking of moving myself up here, but I'm not sure if that would be a good idea or not, because controlling everything means that you don't really need to care about popularity, and then I can just have my workers do whatever the fuck they want to. And I could also execute anybody I wouldn't like by banishing them or killing them without any consequences. Now I think Sanders has to be promoted because Sanders is my heir, so he has to be climbing up the ladder, political ladder. And let's speed up the game to X4 again. Now the reason why I'm zoomed up this much is actually because when you get to this stage of the game, there's going to be like about 10,000 different transporters going around. Did I not turn that off? Oh, it's diplomacy. Oh, I'm just going to ignore it for now. When you have 10,000 transporters, that will cause you to lose your fucking mind because the game will lag. So this is why, like, you see like how many fucking rats we have over here walking around, which is pretty cool. Oh no, how dare you insult Lena. Now while that keeps working, we will be going around and repairing all the buildings, and this guy leveled up. I'm just gonna drop intelligence, make them all smart bastards. Intelligence also have the most frequent amounts of buffs to it. What the hell? I think somebody released the plague. You know what? Add-ons, disease protection. This will help prevent the people inside the house or the building from getting infected, and also decreases the chance of success. But the thing is, like, It doesn't, I'm fairly sure it doesn't work right now properly. Like, it's not actually optimized to work towards what it's supposed to do. I'm fairly sure about that. I'm not like 100%, but I'm just fairly sure. And the reason for that is because you can still infect the house even though you have it. And I haven't really not seen a difference in amount. Your reputation has increased, thank God. I mean, we can still get it just for, you know, the +10 disease protection, which is actually pretty high compared to what you get for these building security. For example, you get 4, 5, and then for fire protection, you also get 5 in total. Privacy protection, I assume, okay, so what I think privacy protection is used for is actually used to prevent people from gathering evidence against you. And the other ones were meant to stop people from, this one is, where is it? Building security is meant for breaking in, extorting for money. Fire protection is pretty obvious. And custom satisfaction, you're actually supposed to, this has not been fixed, but you're actually supposed to put stuff in front store and people can buy it. And you can actually determine the price of those items by going to the route and then storage management. And then you can set the sales price to all the way, for example, like to 50% over the market price. And you can see how much percentage you have over there, which is really interesting concept. The type of people that buy from your front store is apparently based around how much influence or how much the popularity you have in the districts. And now we have officially the Baron title, so we can focus on other things. I kind of gave up on I kind of gave up on getting those items without the Baron title. Now we actually have a pretty decent amount of influence thanks to all our politics office, which would not actually be bad to like control what's remaining. Who do we not have in politics? Let's take a quick look. Politician. This guy needs a job. I mean, wife, same thing. I've heard at least. These are kids. They cannot have political office. So let's see if we can find a wife for our firstborn or one of our kids. And I'm fairly sure that's not going to go out well. No, he's not. He doesn't swing that way, that's for sure. And they don't have anybody. That's a goddamn shame. He was a good kid. He lost his wife at a young age. And he's out getting slammed down and killed. Oh my god. Now what I can actually do is I can spam all the guards in Newtown, which is our location, and I don't give two shits about all the other people. Well, I mean, I could be nice and do this. I guess having a lot of guards is probably better, wouldn't it? And since I am the only one controlling politics right now, that means like whatever I decide will go through. And just like a guest, Spirit, Axel, there you go. And Holgerson. Oh yeah, if he goes, I'm fairly sure his dynasty is dead now. But I could be wrong, actually. Yeah, his family is goddamn dead. The heir, which was Lena, which was married to Olaf, has inherited the dynasty. Now what that means is basically I've also inherited his workshops and everything. So if we scroll down here, we have access to. So what I actually want to make sure I don't crash. So I'm gonna save right now, and I'm gonna just call it safety save. And the reason for that, I know this is actually a bug that has been confirmed by me at least. I don't know if anybody else has, but tried it out. But if you inherit a dynasty and you don't want their buildings, if you destroy their buildings, that will actually cause you to crash. So I don't want these buildings. Okay, I didn't crash. I don't like these buildings. They're terrible. No, that's not the button. Destroy building. I mean, I can keep these guys because, you know, they're pretty nice to have with their juggling. I don't mind the extra money and influence, I guess, or popularity. Not that I actually need it, because I have... wait, what? This AI is just being spamming shit. Whatever. So like I said, I wanted to test out with the handicraft. So let's go down this line. I am going to start with a blacksmith. And then we'll expand into the different buildings. This will also enable the market to be populated by more stuff, which is a pretty nice thing. You want the market to have a lot of different items. And like I guess this is actually a... Oh, the game crashed. Okay, so I'll cut this here and come back in a couple seconds. Alright, now that we're back, let's see if we can fix the building situation. I think it would be wise to like make sure that we have somewhat control over these guys. I don't want them going around and doing stuff they're not allowed to. So I'm gonna just fire everybody, and for now leave the buildings as is. That should make it so it has no cost to me. And these guys actually will remain as my workers, simply because the fact they're jugglers. I love them. And oh shit, before this keeps on going, let's deal with it. Yeah, obviously everybody's gonna agree. I don't care about that. And let's fix this up. These jugglers deserve to live. The extortion experts will not. I don't like extort more for money. It destroys building, and that ruins the game for everybody, including the AI and you. Seeing a tier 3 building get destroyed early game means that you basically deny yourself. All of this is bullshit, by the way. And I think I actually applied over here. Okay. Now I could test this out. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Could I? No, I couldn't trade with her. Wait. Okay, so here's another bug that you really want to avoid. If you go to the family tree, you'll actually see the remaining dynasty member, and if you click on them, and I'm not gonna do it, there's the potential you can crash. And what you can also do is you can trade with them. If you trade with them, what that would cause is that the game will instantly crash, okay? Because it can't really give you back, or it can't bring them back to life, basically, which is kind of, I mean, obvious. So, ooh, what is this? These are more jugglers. Wonderful. All the jugglers. I just like these buildings because, like, there is no risk to them. Even just having them on ambush, yeah, that would been technically more money now, since I don't really have any consequences to it. I made everything legal. I'm a goddamn sinner, man. Like there is like really still no point to losing that popularity just to have to regain after a bit. And these guys, I don't care about you. Like, I'm goddamn made a deal with the devil yesterday. So since we are Baron, we can just basically unlock everything, okay? And that's pretty cool, because what that will do... What do you... Krister. Let's check where he belongs. It doesn't belong there. You know what? I'm turning off those diplomacy information. I think he might belong here. No, he doesn't. Krister, we have to find you a new building. This one actually seems reasonable. Krister, you're gonna go over here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to have one of the regular guys or workers go ahead and collect flowers. The reason for that is because if they get disturbed, the AI will automatically try to resend them back to their jobs. And I think it's about time to increase this to 20. Let's do that. Now that we have 2 workers that can work throughout the night, it's worth upgrading these transporters so they will carry as much as possible every trip. And I'm fairly sure these 2 are, yes, they are our family members. So we're gonna also increase it over here. We're also gonna fix that purple stuff. You never wanted purple. Purple is not a cool color, okay? I know it's the Emperor's color, but in this game, avoided like the Black Plague, which it's not that bad if you have a bit of miracle cure. Hey man, if you can get that miracle cure, you know what, you gotta do what you gotta do. Especially if you have poison well, and in hospital. So let's fix up these transportation routes. Let's see, that's good. Here's a very important lesson that I've had to learn the hard way. Don't press this X button by mistake instead of this, okay? You will suffer. I have suffered with that. I had to remake entire trade routes. So this is something that should be somewhere else, okay? This fucking scary every time I like press by that button. And she is up and running. It's one of my children, or my heir's children. Let's see here. What's that? We'll give her 1 strength. She'll become the strongest creature on Earth. And let's get that blacksmith shop up. We want to actually have it as close as possible to the market, so we produce as much money as possible. Here's a surprise, guys. We won't actually use any of our family members to deal with blacksmithing. And the reason for that is because I want to completely automate it. So you actually can see like, okay, I can actually automate things. I don't have to like do what Sandsandal does, like everything manually controlled, everything like fixed up, so everything is like perfect in my opinion. Like you could manually set everything up if you wanted to, but I mean automatically set everything up if you wanted to. I personally am a bit of a stickler to details in terms of getting certain things done first, so I obviously would get certain things first and try to like maintain a kind of semblance of control over the entirety. And some people just like, you know, I don't want to deal with a lot of information constantly, and like that's not wrong. It's actually a pretty good idea. It takes a lot of effort to do this, so why not? And we have the opportunity to get 7. Like in the beginning, you probably can only afford 1 or 2 at best. And stop this guy. We will send him home to our home and get him a horse-drawn cart. Now, here is a very important lesson. Reassign your budget after you hire a lot of people. Okay, that's very important. Like if you don't want them to hire people or you don't want them to buy stuff, then don't assign a budget. But if you like, the budget is basically what they can do with the money they have available to them. So imagine this, like basically this worker has 900 gold. So let's say if you used up 700 gold on just getting yourself sweet stuff, workers and add-ons, and then suddenly you tell your worker, okay, you're supposed to go buy materials for all my workers with 10 gold. Like he won't be able to purchase that. So that will mess up the entire automation. Reassign your budget. And if you have the availability for it, for example me, I can go all the way up to 10,000. The more, the better, actually. So he will start in a second here. So he'll see, okay, so I need to buy materials for all of these things. And he'll go, okay, so I'm going to be heading back and forth. And you can see him using up his remaining budget in a year. And the thing here you have to take into note is that the more they sell, the more budget increases. Okay, yeah, there you go. If you see right here, it just went from 7k to 8k. And the things they're making are actually profiting you a lot. Why the budget increases even though like you haven't added it yourself is because so they can actually continue working. And again, be careful if you didn't put any budget in it before you didn't give them money to work with before you like went ahead and went, okay, you know what, I need to worry about this anymore. You will basically screw yourself because these guys can't purchase anything. This is a very important note. You have to pay attention to this, especially with automation. So now, like, I kind of showcased the smithy in a bit. It's one of the cooler buildings, I think. A bit laggy with all these transporters. But it's pretty cool building. Now I will get myself a bit of that woodworking, or claywork, stonemasonry is called now. And masonry has a 15+ bargaining bonus in the end for some fucking reason. That's interesting. I've never actually seen this. What do you get here then? Shoot. Wait. Shit. Cancel. She's trying to make an alliance with me. I assume that's because the AI still recognizes her as like a player. Now we have full control of this, and technically full control of this, which is pretty good. So once one of these guys, City Legate. I can't afford it. Wait, I can't? Oh, it ended. Okay, so the Einusser family also died, which is, I mean, we are basically outliving all the other dynasties. And if any of them die, we kind of inherit all their assets because we basically married all their... I'm gonna accept, but I'm afraid this is gonna crash the game. I know it will. I just know you. Purple Lab Studio just want to mess with me. There is no upgrade to the buildings here, so I'm just gonna buy the building for now, and you can take a look at it, which is pretty cool. It's one of the nice, like all the handicraft buildings are pretty cool looking. They also have pretty interesting like items that you can make, like Lucky Stone. If you can get all your workers, all your family members set up with it, you can basically guarantee a lot of bonuses that you could use for yourself. Now I'm considering killing one of these or two of these so I can control this upper set of the court, and then I'm fully complete with the game. Like I technically won the game, which it's good, but you know. Let's get disease protection because I know we are gonna get constantly annoyed. Storage slots. And then workers. We want all the workers in existence. And productivity. Productivity increases the work speed. And let's go ahead and hire all these bastards. Now, I don't think there is any raw resource items on this one. I don't think there was any in the... Stop it. Stop. Head to my home, buddy. The reason why it makes kind of sense that the craftsman doesn't really have any raw resource items that they can make, simply because of the fact that the craftsmen, they're not like workers. They don't know how to fucking get some mud out of the dirt. That's the responsibility of some peasant, and it kind of makes sense. So let's press play here. And then plus play here, and then assign a budget. So I'm gonna give them also 10,000. That's gonna be their budget from beginning of the year to the end of the year. And my transporter can now work properly. So he or she will be transporting stuff back and forth now, which is pretty fucking cool. And now we have another building going. Stonemason, unlike the blacksmithing shop, which is like about 1/10 half of its size, the stonemason is actually very big. It has like a building for stones and then the main building for crafting, which is pretty cool. And I think there is only 2 more. I want to get this one though, so I have like the full line, so people can't say, "Oh, you don't actually go different classes than scholar." Haha. Like, yeah, I fucking know that. What are you on about? I obviously know I'm not going in other classes than scholar. The reason for that is because, you know, I want to make money. I want to make it efficiently. Why would I go something else? Let's see here. The reputation bonus is not really necessary thanks to court system. Bargaining bonus though, what be nice. And boom. Productivity. Oh shit, let's go down this line. Productivity is your bread and butter. You want to always have as much as possible. Now, one of the things to keep in mind when doing automation is that nighttime your workers will not be working, so your transporter will not be transporting. You can also play around with the storage management, which is another beast in itself. I have played the game for hundreds of hours, and I don't even want to deal with this. I don't recommend you dealing with it. Just automate and just forget about it. Now, we can basically, like I just said, we can forget about these buildings. We don't need to think about them anymore. And the reason for that is because they're fully automated. They can do whatever they need to. Now, if I can look over here, we already basically just made back our money. Like, we had to purchase the building, upgrades, employees, and whatever else, and then we have already made 24k, and we're making very fast money. The bricks or brickery or stonemason is slower on the revenue, and the reason for that is the smithy has more high ticket items. Like this one sells for 223, and what are they making here? This one sells for 192, so obviously you're going to be making a bit less money with this line. But just keep in mind that it is understandable. First of all, it's automated, so it's not making most efficient things. And also it is like it will just try to make you profit from looking at the market and saying, oh, okay, this thing actually costs a lot of money, so I should probably make this. And well, that'll be it for this episode. Thanks for watching and have a good one.